Hi guys, welcome to the Fintokei studio. I'm here today with none other than David Varga, Fintokei CEO and co-founder. Hi David, how are you?
Hello everyone, I'm fine and I hope you as well.
Yeah, we thought today is a great chance to talk a little bit about the future of Fintokei, what can traders expect in this year, also a little bit on the current situation of Fintokei and also about the past 2 years, which are a massive success for Fintokei. So let's do it. So David, Fintokei is a prop trading firm that grew massively in the past 2 years. But first, please let's focus on you. You are the CEO, so please can you tell us, how did you get to this position?
Well, I was actually one of the co-founders of Fintokei, so the choice wasn't that hard. As you may know, I'm coming from the brokerage background, but we in Purple Group decided to venture also in the prop trading industry and started with Fintokei primarily on Japanese market. When we were doing the Japanese market entry and penetration, I was more like an advisor for the company in our portfolio. But later on, as we decided to go also for the European and later on global expansion, I took over and now I'm driving the whole project to its successful future.
Nice. Okay, let's talk a little bit in general about prop trading, because I still see a lot of confused people. They don't know what it means. So can you please, in simple terms, explain prop trading?
So prop trading generally refers to a company, a prop trading firm that is looking for successful, talented, or ambitious traders who are able to generate profits and who are successful on trading financial markets. And the company or the prop trading firm is actually providing interesting opportunities for the successful traders, mostly in terms of large or additional capital that the traders can trade with and basically get paid on their successful trading on a regular basis. Of course, the traders must pass some sort of evaluation or initial criteria in order to be able to get paid and make some money. But if they do, all the profits they make after, basically they get the reward from. So it's a very interesting and fascinating opportunity for traders to get paid from their successful trading and to basically accelerate their trading journey.
Of course, there are a lot of approaches to financial markets. You can be investing, you can be trading, and you can use prop trading. So can you maybe draw the line between those terms so you can explain it to people?
Yes, of course. So investing, I would say it's more a long-term opportunity or long-term behavior working with financial markets and participating in the financial markets. When I talk about investing or when I imagine investing, I of course think about something or buying an asset, holding it for a longer term, and basically profiting or capitalizing on that particular asset gaining in its value. So typically it's about buying a stock, buying a Bitcoin or anything like that, some asset, and basically hoping or expecting the value of that asset to grow. In most cases, it's about longer term investment horizon. On the other hand, the trading is much more short-term oriented approach to participating in financial markets. I usually say that trading equals also speculation. So it's basically expecting whether some underlying asset or a currency pair or anything like that will gain its value, but we can also speculate on something losing its value, but relatively in the short term. It can be even within minutes or seconds, it can be within a few days or a few weeks, but it's mainly about the speculation about the price, whereas the investing is about some asset gain value and you participating in that gain.
Yep, nice. Can you please describe Fintokei in 1 minute, if you can manage?
Of course. So as we said, Fintokei is a proprietary trading firm or evaluation trading firm, which is evaluating and looking for successful traders. And to those who succeed and pass its evaluation procedures, it provides large virtual capital that the traders can trade with and make regular payouts from. Also, Fintokei is developing the talent for traders. So there's numerous ways that Fintokei can help you to improve your trading, your skills, your discipline, your psychology. And ultimately, Fintokei is basically accelerating your trading journey and provides you multiple opportunities how you can start or improve your trading career.
Nice. Okay, let's now imagine I'm a beginning trader. Okay, why should I choose Fintokei? Of course, there's a lot to choose from, so why should I choose Fintokei? And maybe what makes it different from all the other prop firms?
I would say Fintokei is definitely a good choice because of our experience, because of our background, because of the stability, and also because of the magnitude of the opportunities that we can bring to the traders in terms of accelerating their trading career. But furthermore, it's also about the size of the capital we can provide with. It's also about the type of the programs that we offer to not only professional or experienced traders, but also to the beginners. We have a program called Start Trader that is specifically designed to attract beginners traders or people who are just starting with prop trading so that they can basically get all the habits, get used to all the rules, and it should eventually train them to trade consistently and with a long-term horizon in mind, which is exactly what we are looking for, not only at beginners, but also at the experienced traders.
Well, you already said it. Some people might know it, some people might not, but originally Fintokei started in Japan. So can you tell us how is Fintokei doing there right now? Maybe some differences between Japanese market and the other markets.
It's very fascinating because Japan has a very unique and interesting culture, as you may know. And also the trading environment or the financial markets environment is a bit different than what we are used to here in the Europe. So first, how we are doing and why Japan? The reason why we chose to start in Japan with Fintokei was because there was nothing as prop trading existing on the market, or at least in terms of the modern prop trading. So that's what we do. And we saw a huge opportunity in Japan to basically bring the prop trading concept to the market, educate the traders, explain what it is, and logically attract as many of them as possible so that we can really find those good ones and help them with their trading career. Because that's something that, like I said, is not existing on the Japanese market. There are some local brokers offering trading services to traders. There are some foreign brokers who are also offering the services to Japanese customers. But basically, that's very dense. And I believe Fintokei can, first of all, introduce trading to much larger clientele or potential clientele in the beginning. But Fintokei can also provide much more opportunities than a traditional broker could to the successful or ambitious ones. So that's why we chose Japan. That was like a huge opportunity. And right now we are number one prop trading firm in Japan. We are there for more than 2 years. The very beginning was actually quite difficult, I would say, or more difficult than we expected, because, like I said, literally almost nobody knew what prop trading was, and we had to explain and educate the whole market. Even the traders who were already trading with the international brokers who were experienced, it was quite hard to explain them exactly what the prop trading and how the concept works. And in general, everything new takes a bit longer for Japanese people to understand, to actually let's say investigate or to learn about how everything works, because they are very detail oriented. And before they go into something new, they really need to understand it properly. So if I put it in a nutshell, it was a lot about communication, explanation, even fine-tuning all the FAQs, the website, so that it's very well and clearly understandable for Japanese potential customer. And this took us, let's say, half a year. But after we fine-tuned everything in this regard, and after the first early adopters decided to give it a try, it really got traction among Japanese traders, and the level of progress has been amazing. And like I said, after 2 years, even though there are many competitors coming into the market. We are number one in Japan, and at the same time, it's still just the beginning, and there's amazing room for growth. So I'm very excited about it.
I can already tell you probably had huge expectations when you co-founded Fintokei. Listening to you talking about the situation in Japan, I can guess you probably met the expectations, but would you agree with me first? And what's the situation internationally?
I do agree that the expectations we had, we basically met already, especially on a global level. The amount of interest among customers was really like exceeded our expectations, because there's a lot of competition already, or has been a lot of competition around when we decided to go also globally. So that was going and has been going very well on a global level. And in Japan, back to the Japanese market, the expectations, it was quite hard to set some expectations, because we didn't really know how well the people will perceive the idea, how it will all kind of work out. So the initial, let's say, conservative expectations have already been met. But after we saw the interest, after I met many of our partners and clients in Japan, I did like 3 or 4 trips there already. I can see that it's still just the beginning, as I said, because the trading environment, the communities in Japan is all on one hand very big, but it's also just kind of getting the traction. Like, for example, what we saw in Europe, that people starting to be interested in investing and then in trading, especially after the COVID. And there's been all this boom in online trading and investing lately. That's something that has not been happening in Japan. The whole background of trading in Japan is already there for many years, but at the same time is more about, let's say, older, more experienced people. I think the young generation is just about to step up, and the popularity of trading among youngsters, younger traders, will just soon begin to explode. So it's very exciting to be part of it, and maybe even to help the whole educational part, basically getting the potential traders interested in trading and showing them what is possible, but at the same time what, let's say, is not possible, or not to have like superficial expectations. Because a big part of our job at Fintokei is also the education, and also pointing out, let's say, the risks of trading, or to show people that it's not so easy. Not everybody can have a Lamborghini in 2 weeks. So we really want to do it properly, and we have like big plans and long-term horizon when it comes to Japan. So that's why I kind of say it's still just the beginning, even though the amount of growth and interest has been amazing already.
Nice. Of course, when you launch a new business, it's never a straight line to the top. There are always speed bumps, some obstacles. I guess Fintokei is not a different story. So what would you say were the biggest challenges Fintokei had to face in the past 2 years?
Good question. I would say one of the challenges was the actual amount of growth. Like I said, it's not something we expected to be so fast. Maybe second challenge or surprise for us was the amount of fraud, let's say, in terms of the industry and in terms of the potential partners who claim they want to promote your prop firm, but at the same time they just want to kind of scam you and what they kind of promise or show you is actually not really true. So I knew this existed, or this was part of the industry, but the amount of that is has been really surprising. I would say more than 90% of people who approached us that they want to become partners and promote Fintokei in their communities or online has been like a fraud. So that was definitely surprising, and we had to establish some procedures how we evaluate potential partners and some internal guidelines, etc. So this, I would say, this thing. And the third thing comes actually with something similar, which is general cheating of cheating on prop firms or exploiting on prop firms, which is currently, let's say, a hot topic for the whole industry, I would say. But the amount of this also surprised me, and even the sophistication of various organized groups who are trying to exploit and cheat prop firms by basically hiring fake people to just open the accounts on and kind of manipulate with their trades and kind of pass your prop firm challenge with trading bots just to get an exploited model and get payouts without actually having any trading skills and any trading edge. That's something that, again, I knew it was existing. I knew it was one of the, let's say, loopholes or one of the bad parts of the industry. But again, the amount of this and how many fraudsters or potential or even confirmed cheaters that we got over the last few months has been surprising. So yeah, I would say these three things were the biggest challenges so far.
Yeah, we'll definitely discuss this a little bit later. But now, please, let's focus just on 2024. How would you evaluate this year from Fintokei point of view? And maybe do we have some numbers you could share with us that would show us how Fintokei has progressed?
Yeah, with pleasure. So I would say that the whole 2024 was about the growth. We basically increased the amount of traders, the amount of revenue, and amount of purchases or even successful traders, etc., by more than 13 times. So definitely a very interesting and growing year. We overall have now clients from more than 120 countries. So even though we focus on Japan and some European countries primarily, the global recognition and the growth on the global scale has also been pretty impressive and surprising. We now have more than 30,000 customers. And again, it's still just the beginning. So the idea of how it can grow even further and the room for growth that there actually exists, not only in Japan, but globally, is really, let's say, exciting. And it's definitely something I wake up happily every morning with. What else? I would say this was the year in a nutshell. But if you have any other specific questions or topics or areas you'd like to know more about, we can discuss that.
Yeah, I think we'll cover it a bit later. Yeah. But now I guess everyone who has seen Fintokei website in the past few weeks and Fintokei social media must have seen that Fintokei underwent a huge rebranding. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Why did you do it and what does it symbolize?
Yeah, absolutely. So the whole rebranding comes with the new ambitions that we kind of set for Fintokei, as well as with a little bit more fresh and new approach that we want to take for prop trading and for the markets that we are actively present at. Like I already said, we want to focus much more on the educational part, on the new generation of traders. So we definitely agreed and decided to take a more fresh look, to give Fintokei a more fresh look. But it also goes well with the whole vision of Fintokei, which, as you can already see, or as you could already noticed, is that we want to accelerate the success of traders. And like I said, not only by providing them with large capital, which is one of the ultimate and essential things of prop trading, but by also providing them many more opportunities how to continue or kickstart their trading career if they really become successful and if they improve their skills well enough. And all of that basically should provide the traders and our potential customers with much more flexibility and speed in terms of gaining their success. So, like I said, accelerating trader success is our main vision and a new claim or a motto. And the whole rebranding basically goes very well with it, and was one of the reasons why we did it.
Yeah, it's okay. If we can take a look at the bigger picture right now, what would you say was the biggest achievement of Fintokei? Of course, you already said many successes. Maybe can you pinpoint just one thing?
I would say prop trading in general can change people's or traders' lives. And what everyone considers one of the most important factors is whether the company is paying out the rewards and how many clients succeeded. So the fact that we paid out more than $40 million, and then the fact that more than hundreds or actually almost 1,000 of customers reached to payouts already is the best thing we could ever imagine, and is literally changing lives of traders and of people. So I would say that's definitely the thing worth to mention and worth to celebrate. And it's at the same time, let's say, an engine for us to push even more and to drive the whole business further and to attract even more customers who we can provide such amazing opportunities.
Yeah, let's go into Fintokei beloved customers, of course, the traders. Can you give us any data on them? What's the success rate of them? What are my chances to pass maybe some challenges or even get to the payout?
Yes, so let me just quickly think about it. But the record-breaking number that everyone would be interested to hear is that the single biggest payout that we paid out last year was more than $120,000. But at the same time, I would say a little bit of a disclaimer that this is kind of an extreme, and it's not something that a long-term consistent trader should aim for. Of course, if this happens, that's a huge thing, and it's a life-changing event for the particular trader. But the thing I'm more happy with is what I already said. So the amount of traders that successfully passed our evaluations, the amount of traders that actually got the payouts. Speaking of some numbers or statistics, the chance of you or of a trader to get to a payout based on the numbers from last year is actually 25%. Sorry, it's 10%, sorry. So 25% chance that you get to the virtually funded phase. And then less than half of these people actually get to a payout. So eventually it's like 10% of the customers that we got last year got at least one payout. So that's definitely a pretty big chance, and is also one of the numbers that surprised me. We also digged a bit deeper to the numbers, and to my surprise again, the numbers were pretty similar to our Japanese clientele as well to our European clientele. There are some differences between these two types of traders or two nationalities of traders, but the ultimate probabilities and stats are actually very similar. So that's very positive, I would say. And really the chance for anyone to become a good trader is actually not that small.
Yeah, I guess 10% is quite a large number, especially if you compare it to other brokers, because they also have to say how many accounts are profitable, how many no. So if you compare it, 10% here, 10% there, but at prop trading companies, you're not using your own money. So this is a huge difference, right?
Yeah, the risk is totally limited. So that's a big positive of prop trading. Also, of course, there are some objectives and limitations in both evaluation or funded phase of your prop trading challenge. So that also plays a role why the numbers are maybe not even higher or better. But like I said, one of the goals of Fintokei is to even help you to improve your skills, your discipline, your strategy, your psychology, which is a very important part of trading. So even though if you don't manage to get a payout or get to pass the evaluation on the first try, you can definitely try again. And the whole process of trying to pass our evaluations should actually lead you to improving your skills. And that's, even if you don't get a payout, that I would say is a very valuable lesson or procedure or a journey that you can take. And we could even see that clients that started with us, let's say those 2 years ago or a year and a half ago when we were just pretty much in the beginning, these numbers were actually much, much lower. So the probabilities, the stats of successful traders, those who got to the payout, were much lower. And even those clients who started a year and a half ago, over the time actually improved, and now they are one of the customers that are getting payout. So it's also very rewarding, and like I said, it proves that the mission or the vision that we are having is working, and now we just want to expand even more and basically bring this opportunity to much broader audience.
It's definitely nice to hear that the possibility of getting payout is quite high, but we should definitely say that it's absolutely not easy money. This is hard work. Of course, if you go on Instagram, you see fast numbers, fast cash, quickly. So this is not the case, right?
No, I completely agree, and that's one of the other, let's say, factors or things that are part of this industry. And of course, pretty much not everything that looks too easy or too good to be true is in the end true. So I would say you definitely need to take this with some precautions. If you see the fast cars or like promises that are too good to sound true. And yeah, even though the statistics I just said are pretty optimistic and pretty positive, it definitely doesn't mean that 10% of the customers got the payout on their first try. And like I said, some really needed to practice for even a half year or year to get to the payout. And some already practiced in past and are experienced, or some maybe have some luck. But getting to a payout is not the most important part. The most important part is actually getting to as many payouts as possible and to be able to trade consistently and in the long term. So basically, that's the actual mission and vision that we have in mind, so that we are able to help you or any other trader to basically improve their skills and be able to trade anywhere, whether it's a prop firm, whether it's a personal brokerage account, whether it's a fund. So I'm kind of repeating myself, but that's the trading card. That's the journey that we want to accelerate on one hand, help you to improve your skills on second hand. But eventually it all brings or goes to the fact that you are a trader that is able to make money basically anywhere.
Okay, you already said that Fintokei is huge on education. So maybe can you give us 3 key things that every trader needs to be successful at prop trading?
I would say definitely a discipline. That's one thing. Secondly, a mental resilience, which goes very much in hand with psychology and being able to control your emotions, and also understanding yourself and being able to control yourself. And the third part I would say is the patience, because not every day is a good day. Not every trade is a winning trade. And it's perfectly fine that you have a losing streak or that you lose a couple of trades. But if you have a system, if you have a strategy, if you have a discipline and emotions under control, and if you are confident that your system, your strategy works, and if you just continue to follow your strategy, your principles, eventually the success will come. And if not, you can always improve. But trying to look for some shortcuts or to basically bypass any of these 3 things I mentioned, well, I don't think will bring you like a long-term success. And yeah, again, I'm repeating myself, but that's actually what we are trying to bring and help to traders with Payouts.
Okay, I will not limit you to just 3 things. So maybe just another advice from the CEO to the beginners, because of course you're the CEO of the company, you must know what works and what doesn't. So maybe just some or a few words to the beginners.
I would say don't rush. I would say learn a lot, but also practice a lot. So don't just do theory on or hypothesize what could happen. but also practice, whether it's a demo account, whether it's a live account with a broker, whether it's a prop trading challenge. I definitely try to put your skills and knowledge into the practice. And the third one would be, again, the resilience or don't give up. That's something that many people may have a tendency to do with trading because they are not successful after a month or 2 months or even a year of hard work. But I always try to compare trading to a professional sport, for example, where you also need to, or even like a business eventually. Both in the professional sport or in the business, you have to practice, you have to do the things regularly in order to become successful. Even if things don't really work well, if you're not really successful, you just need to get up from your bed and do it again and try again. And only after some time, you will actually see the success. And by success, I mean what we talked about. So being able to trade profitably in the long term, not just by luck, let's say. And yeah, that requires a lot of mental resilience, a lot of patience, a lot of discipline. So I'm kind of circling around the similar topics, but I think that's very important, not only in trading, not only in business or sport, but in life in general. And to me, and I hope to all of you or most of you, trading is part of life. And becoming a better trader is also making you to become a better person. Or at least that's how I had it. Again, not only with trading, but also with being a professional sportsman, also being a professional businessman. Everything helps for me to become a better person. So, yeah, I think that's the advice for the beginners. I hope it was not so complex or discouraging.
Oh, it was very nice. Maybe the way I see prop trading is like the perfect balance between demo accounts and trading your own money. Because of course, the risks are limited, but you can still make a lot of money. So maybe what's your view on that? Do you agree with me or not? And maybe if you have really successful trading strategy, down the line, you can trade only your money. You don't have to split the profit with the prop company. But as I said, I see it as a perfect balance between demo account and trading your own money.
I completely agree. At the same time, I don't think it's either or. If you have a good strategy, you can, of course, trade both on your personal account and with prop trading companies. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. And ultimately, trading is about making money, and you want to make more money. And basically, the opportunities the Fintokei brings, but also the whole global market brings, is about how we can leverage your skills. And if you have a successful strategy and you're confident about it, of course, prop trading is maybe the best thing to start with. But after you manage to trade well, there's not really a limitation why you shouldn't try those on a personal account. But back to what you meant maybe is also that prop trading is a safer way to start, because with prop trading, you have very limited risk, right? There is like the initial fee that in case you are successful, you even get paid back as a contractual fee once you become virtually funded. So ultimately, it's risk-free trading, and you get access to a huge capital and to potential profit shares or performance rewards or payouts from a big capital that otherwise you would not be able to access. So again, it's about leveraging your options, your skills. And I think currently the modern prop trading is the fastest and the most efficient way how you can leverage your skills. And that's why Fintokei is here. That's why we want to accelerate your success. And what happens then, that's another story. But we want to be there and help you with that part of the story as well.
We already said that prop trading or trading in general is definitely not easy money, but some motivation never hurts. You already said that the biggest payout so far was around 120K. Do you remember what country was the trader from? Maybe can you compare some countries to each other, where the traders are the best and or where not so good?
I don't like this kind of comparisons or generalizations, but speaking of the numbers, so the highest payout that I mentioned, which was around more than $120,000 per payout, was paid to a trader in Japan. So Japanese traders are really trading big, I would say, which is reflecting in the amount of payouts to them. Going back to Europe or non-Japanese markets, I think another or the top performer was getting like a 40K payout, single payout, and I think he was from Slovenia. There was also another guy from Slovakia that actually took more than $150,000 in total in payouts in last year. So that's a record man in this regard, and that's actually something I'm much more happy about. If someone is just getting one huge payout and then failing the challenge or failing the funded account, that's a bit controversial. But if someone is able to reach payouts on a regular basis, that's, like I said, what we're looking for. And so for me, much more important number is the cumulative amount of payouts that someone got. So definitely we have good and successful traders from Europe as well as from Japan. The actual numbers or statistics are surprisingly similar. So like I said, there is around 10% chance that someone will actually get to a payout. And that number is very similar for Japanese and European customers. The difference between these is more about the time. The Japanese traders are more eager. They try to trade in, let's say, bigger way, with bigger accounts, but also they want to reach success faster, which also sometimes goes with more failed accounts than the European traders. The European traders are more, let's say, slow, or let's say more, I don't want to say serious, because the Japanese traders are also serious, but the European traders are maybe thinking about the trades and preparing for the trades much longer time than the Japanese ones. And therefore the average time for a European or Czech trader to get to a payout is longer. Of course, they also differ in terms of the instruments they trade. Logically, our Japanese traders are mostly trading Japanese yen versus dollar, euro, or other pairs. And of course, the Nikkei index. Our European customers, and actually global customers, they all tend to trade euro dollar as well as US indices such as Nasdaq or S&P, but mostly Nasdaq. And one thing they all have in common is the gold. Everyone is trading gold, obviously, so that's something in common. But yeah, for me, the surprising fact was that in terms of probability and success rates, they were very similar, even though, I mean, the Japanese and the European customers, even though the trading style is actually pretty different.
Yeah, we have to say gold is the hot commodity right now, maybe thanks to Donald Trump and all the things that are going on in the world. But let's take a deeper dive into trading strategies. So first, does Fintokei analyze that? And second, what would you say is the best strategy to reach payout?
That's a hard one. Yes, we do analyze them. We also analyze the sustainability of a strategy and how much potential the strategy or trader has to actually be able to trade for a long term, because that's obviously the long-term goal of us and hopefully also of the traders. But it's hard to say which exact strategy has the biggest probability to get a payout. I would say in general, our customers are mostly trading intraday, or maybe swing in terms of a few days, but mostly intraday. Not really scalping, like going for a few pips or going for a few minute trades. But majority of the customers of the traders are focusing on intraday trades on volatile instruments. So as we said, gold, Nasdaq, almost anything that moves. That's the most common. Whether is the most successful or not, that's the question. But I would say yes, that's what our customers, based on the data we have, the most customers that reach the payouts are practicing these strategies. There's not that many swing traders trading with Fintokei at the moment, even though I believe that our conditions are also suitable for swing traders, and that's actually something we would like to focus a bit more on this year, to promote Fintokei and our plans and challenges also to the swing traders, because in general, that's something I think can have even better success rates than the intraday trading. But so far, intraday was dominated.
Okay, now a little bit controversial topic, or maybe not, because recently there was some negative feedback about Fintokei on social media. Before, traders were praising Fintokei for fast payouts, but now some are starting to claim that Fintokei stopped paying them. So can you tell us what's happening?
Yes, I can try. So first of all, I would say that Fintokei is still having very fast payouts, and I don't. For a second, I didn't hesitate that it would not be a reputable company or reliable company, and we actually never denied any payout. So that should still be true, and as far as I'm leading the company, it will be true. However, it is true also that we are terminating the cooperation with some of the traders. It's related to the whole exploitation and potential cheating tactics or strategies that started to appear within the prop trading industry. Like I said, we identified various organized groups that are trying to exploit, abuse, or cheat the whole model of prop firms by practically hedging between the prop firms or between a prop firm and a broker account. And if we identify this kind of behavior, this kind of trading pattern, this kind of trading data, which ultimately is not sustainable for a prop firm, so that I think that's the important takeaway to understand that this kind of hedging, arbitrage, or abusive practices that basically serve the idea of exploiting the prop firm, gaming the model, and get few payouts and then breach the account sooner or later. There is no alpha, there is no actual edge, there is no long-term profitability of such systems, of such trading approaches. And that's ultimately what is bothering us and why we cannot support it. So anytime we identify this kind of behavior, this kind of trading, what we basically do is that we apply certain restrictions on such a trader, which basically goes down to lowering the leverage and limiting the daily maximum loss and daily maximum profit that someone can achieve, which then is not a hard breach but a soft breach. So it's basically just a soft limitation, because that is the way we believe that someone's strategy can actually become sustainable if they continue trading under these conditions. However, if someone doesn't like that and is not happy with it, or believes that their trading strategy or their potentially cheating strategy cannot work under such conditions, we give right to everyone to just cancel their accounts and quit the cooperation with us, which then some of those traders complain about on social media, which may have created some kind of a negative narrative. But from my point of view, this is a very friendly and amicable way of how to deal with something like this. Like I said, we never deny the payout. We always look for a solution and try to analyze someone's trading from all the different aspects and angles. And one thing I didn't even say is that we also give the traders a potential to prove that their trading is sustainable, even despite our internal sophisticated data analysis, by showing us a statement or a track record from somewhere else where their system works. And there already are cases where few cases where our data analysts showed unsustainability, but then someone actually showed us the track record. We did an interview with that person, and we lifted all the restrictions because they actually proved us and have evidence that their trading can work in the long term. So basically, all of this combined, I think, is very professional and very amicable way of how doing business together. Having an account with prop firm basically doesn't mean that you can have that account forever. As soon as the prop firm identifies something going off or something suspicious or something that the prop firm doesn't like, That's basically the time when the prop firm can decide to maybe change the rules for you if you are already funded or give you some limitations. And I know it sounds maybe bad or it sounds negative and it can have this kind of connotation, but that's even how the original prop firms were working. Like you always had a risk manager giving you some limitations, reviewing your trading on a daily or weekly basis, and adjusting the limitations based on your performance, based on the strategy that you are applying, etc. So I don't think this is something new. It's the crucial part of the business and of the whole prop firm concept, the risk management and basically actively working with the funded traders and with analyzing their strategies, etc. But of course, yeah, some people may not be used to it, or some may even intentionally making such restrictions or such changes as something to complain about on social media to push on us to change our mind, which, however, we never did unless someone could prove themselves, as I said.
Well, you already basically said it, but why are hedgers such problem for the company? And maybe more specifically, because there are two types of hedgers. You have one hedger who's using legitimate strategy of hedging, and there's the other hedger who's hedging between multiple prop company accounts. So maybe tell us the difference between those two types of hedgers and maybe why is it such a problem?
Yeah, good question, and I understand it can be confusing. So first of all, hedging on one particular account is completely fine, and that's allowed at Fintokei, and I believe with many other prop firms as well. And it's a legitimate strategy, and it's something that can actually help you to become profitable and successful. And if that's the case, and if you are able to pass the evaluation phases and trade consistently using the hedging on one account, that's perfectly fine. However, if you are just placing random trades and basically offsetting such trades or reverse hedging those trades somewhere else, which practically means that it either works on one prop firm, let's say, or on the other one. So practically hedging is about opening, buying, and sell position on the same instrument, right? So as an example, you open buy position on gold at Fintokei, and then at the same time you open a sell position on gold somewhere else on another prop firm. And if the price of the gold goes up, basically you make money and you have a profitable trade on Fintokei, and then you have a losing trade somewhere else. And if you just post these trades without any idea, without any skill, even without any strategy behind, yes, ultimately you can get to a payout at Fintokei or at another prop firm. But like I said, there is no edge, there is no sustainability. This is just more about probability game or statistics game than trading. It has got anything to do with trading, and we're looking for some edge, looking for some alpha on the markets. And that is why it's, first of all, a hard rule break, or it's considered a prohibited strategy. And secondly, it's basically something that has no future, no longevity in itself. And that's why such trading data is pretty much unusable for us and unvaluable. And like I said, that's why the first thing we can do to make it better is to apply those additional restrictions and see how we can work under those conditions. And if your strategy can adapt and can work well even under those conditions, then all good. And that's fine for us. But if not, and if the whole idea is based only on offsetting the risk without any trading idea behind, that's obviously something we don't want to see. And we don't look forward to Fintokei.
I guess Fintokei must be deeply analyzing all the traders, all the strategies. Is the analysis 100%? Is there a possibility that you could falsely flag me as a hedger, and how do you handle such cases?
Theoretically, yes. Of course, like I said, we are analyzing the trading data from different points of view or from different angles by different statistical methods. But of course, It's just data analysis, and we are aware that there might be some false positives, as it's called. And that is why we always give traders the option to show us that they have a sustainable strategy, then they can prove it. Or why we also give them the option to cancel the cooperation and get a refund for all the active accounts, because we understand that we cannot be sure on 100%. And our data models, our view on trading, our view on sustainability and on what we are looking for can be different than how someone else is seeing this, or how someone else would analyze it. So it's also partially subjective, I would say, depending on our risk aversity or willingness to risk, etc. So just in a nutshell, yes, there might be some false positives. We give numerous options how someone can prove themselves that they are sustainable. At the same time, we don't do any harsh decisions. We always give everyone an option to part ways in a friendly way. And like I said, that's the professional way of doing things, at least as how I see it.
Yep. Okay, we are getting to the finish line, but first let's see the future plans of Fintokei. Is there anything you could share with us that Fintokei is planning for this year? You already said that Fintokei wants to be more inviting for swing traders, so maybe something else that you could share.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this year will be, again, amazing because we have a lot of things in plan. One thing that you probably noticed already is that we basically rolled out a new My Fintokei customer portal. Not only rebranded, but with the new features, new technology behind. So that's the biggest news at the moment. Working well. Following up on that, we will definitely bring more tools, more content for the education and for the beginners. And that's definitely the focus that's definitely the thing we want to focus on this year and in future as well. That also goes in line with the additional platform that I cannot really talk or give you more details about, but that will be one of the, if not the most popular trading and analytical tools that experienced and beginner traders are using. So we are very excited about this to be revealed very soon. We're also looking into the crypto space and crypto CMD, so that might be one of the additional news as well. And there's a few more, but I'll keep it to myself. These are the ones that should be happening actually, not that far away.
Okay, nice. Yeah, maybe we can do more of these CEO talks. So maybe next time, David will tell you a bit more. Of course, you're a prop firm CEO, so huge part of your job must be observing the industry as a whole. So do you see some trends shaping up maybe right now?
Yes. I think many people have been talking about the regulation, but that's a pretty complex topic. And as I said multiple times in different interviews, I don't expect the regulation to be happening anytime soon, even though it will be much needed, I think, in this industry. And I believe we are very ready for that if something like that happens. One more thing I can see, or I believe will happen, is more of a consolidation in the industry. So there will be fewer bigger players and less of the new coming prop firms emerging from literally anywhere over the time. So the consolidation, and maybe even making the rules stricter or making the prices higher. That's mostly related to the cheaters and hedgers topic that we discussed. But if us and other prop firms don't find more efficient ways how to fight against the cheaters, one of the ultimate solutions is to increase the prices or make the rules somehow more strict, so that the mathematical or statistical probability of this kind of arbitrage is not so appealing to the cheaters. So I would say these three things, is something that we should be keeping our eyes on this year. or we may expect. However, as for the Fintokei, we don't plan any rules changes or price increases anytime soon. I believe we have more robust and sophisticated solutions already in place to identify the cheaters and unsustainable traders already in place. So if it goes for Fintokei, the biggest news that we are planning, I just said in the previous question, and all of them should be actually very positive for the customers. So I'm very much looking for that.
Okay, just one more question left, kind of lifestyle one. Of course, you're a family man, you're a businessman, but some viewers might be wondering, are you a trader as well? Have you ever tried Fintokei Challenge? If so, how did it end up?
Good question. So to be completely frank, I'm not a trader, or I'd never considered myself as a trader. I definitely did trade for some time and like in a more active way. Now I'm more of a hobby trader or a speculator. When there is some opportunity I see on the market or I hear about, I give it a shot. But I personally consider it more as a fun time or a gambling type of activity than a proper trading or than something we at Fintokei are looking for. And yes, I actually tried our Fintokei Challenge. I did pass the phase 1 of our Pro Trader Challenge, but then failed the phase 2. But it was more for the getting to know the product better, getting to know the emotions better, so testing kind of thing. Unfortunately, I don't have that much time to devote to trading, and trading is actually a lot about devotion. That's all those things that we talked about today. If you want to take it really properly and seriously, it's pretty much a full-time job, or at least it requires a lot of your attention. And with running at least one company and having at least one kid at home, that's pretty much impossible to do for being at home.
Okay, that's it for today. Thank you, David, so much for talking to us. We'll see you next time, guys.
See you next time, and have fun and have a good time.